Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Super excited for this because this is one of the hardest climax for female singers that I have ever witnessed. And obviously, the land of the singers most probably would slay this, right? So you guys sent over a compilation of several different singers attempting and slaying this particular
objective
climax,
is
right?
for the Filipino music industry.
Yes.
Like when people think of anyone, you ask someone random on the street, right? So who has the best singers in the world? And they'll be like the Filipino music industry.
But they are
when they do everyone. I want everybody. 7 billion people.
Okay.
When everybody does that, I'll be like,
yes.
I can rest now. I'm only joking, but I just love sharing this shit because it's so fun and I get to learn stuff. So I hope you enjoy it. Go on.
Okay, let's have a look. This is Jonah. Also, can we just have a moment for I totally forget that this whole freaking motion is like 2 breaths.
Yeah.
It's like 2 single breaths and then continue.
Well, what made Mariah interesting, and the reason why sometimes the comparisons that people make, like I see a lot of people obviously comparing, given that Brian McKnight has worked with both, and when he did the Regine thing, he's obviously worked with Mariah, so people are comparing Mariah to Regine. It's like Regine is not an R&B singer, you dip to it, so that's not a comparison, you know what I mean? It's Regine's runs are not going to be like Mariah's runs, because they don't run the same way.
Because they're not the same people anyways.
Once a R&B singer. However, because they're both power vocalists, everyone thinks that's just...
Yeah.
But it doesn't...
2 plus 2 fish, you know.
It doesn't work like that. Probably a fairer comparison is just... He's a boy. He's a man. But he's someone like Michael. He is much more of a run forward singer. But obviously, timbre and texture is completely different. But stylistically, that would be like a fairer comparison in terms of how they approach a riff or a run. Regine, that wouldn't really be like not even fair. It's not an appropriate comparison.
Yeah.
Jonah is probably one of those as well. It's like the interesting big thing about Jonah is that she's actually operatic to a certain extent, right? She
is so. I would say that she is so diverse in her singing approach overall that it's really hard to box her into a category because she is very capable in many things, right? So in many different styles.
So it's like Regine
reminds me a lot of Lani Misaluce's approach to singing.
Yes,
too.
well, I think that's essentially. Yeah, that's a great point of reference.
Yeah.
I think, but I think it's like Regine. It's outstanding at specific things.
Yes.
Well, I mean, power-wise, she's basically unmatched, I think. But Mariah is outstanding at her approach of the journey of the belts, which is really weird, and that's why that belt is so strange. That climax is so weird and strange.
Yeah, but that's the reason why all of the singers that we're about to see now are about to slay it because it's such a difficult part. Kyla, yes.
That's a good comparison, I feel. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
Kyla. It's a much better point of reference if you're looking at a Mariah Carey
comparison approach.
That's really close. Like
I agree. I would agree.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, Kyla is such a monster. She's so nice.
She is
and the
nicest
person
human
on
ever.
earth.
Yeah, she's literally is the nicest human on earth.
So you forget she's got some of the most deadly pipes.
Totally agree. And I love the fact that she is this awesome combination of breathiness with a clear belt and also going back to that sweet softness she's got so many vocal dynamics. I find her so satisfying to watch live.
Forget what I said prior to that. I'm an idiot. Just change the name I used for Kyla.
Okay, yes, continue. Sarah! Yes, Sarah G! See, that's a really nice... That's what I was expecting, okay? Here's what I love about these videos. because a lot of this, there's stigmas to the songs. There are expectations of delivery to this particular tracks, especially when you're talking about Mariah Carey tracks. There is an expectation, and there's really little space for personal development or like individualistic takes in the songs. So it's really cool to see. I was expecting to see, copy and paste.
Yeah.
So here's what you're gonna get.
Here's the journey of that climax. You learn it, then you deliver it.
That's right. But you replicate it.
What Sarah seems to be doing is
this is my version. Take
of
it.
the journey, because at the end of the day, the journey has already been made. If you want to look at that specific journey, you can look at Mariah. She did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But you're looking at the Sarah G version,
and I love it.
Yeah, I think it's the right approach to
totally
music,
agree.
essentially.
Yeah. Individualistic. Give me flair.
Yeah.
Nina, yes. You see, more flair. Yes, Nina, I like this version.
Nina's so intriguing to me because I remember listening to her for the first time live, and I was like, so I understand why she became so pinnacle, because everyone else was doing belting and power vocalizations, they were being power vocalists and ballads, and she's come out here with an acoustic fucking hit.
Yeah.
Singing soft and breathy.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, so that's what she does. And then the more you sort of listen to Nina's music, and then the more you sort of listen to some of the singers, like Morissette, like Nina changed her life, basically. You're like, wait, what? Why? Because you wanted to be a power vocalist. And then you listen to Nina's music when she's able to do it, and you're like,
Yes, because it's funny though, because obviously her most popular track was
not that demanding.
Exactly.
They're probably cake for her.
Actually, Walk in the Park, when you look at this type of like riffs and run. But the most popular version of cover that she ever made was Through the Fire, which is one of the most complicated songs to ever come out, and it became a staple OPM classic when it was like a cover off, right?
Crazy,
so
right?
that to me is wild. So Nina holds some different type of power.
The song we heard from Nina the first time wasn't Through the Fire.
No,
it was an
right.
original. It was that original.
Someday.
She dedicates to
her ex.
Yeah, what's her name?
Jimmy Bondok.
Jimmy Bondok. Yeah. What a story!
And then he goes ahead and writes another one.
What a great song!
I mean, whew, let's talk about the tea later, okay? But
straight classic, brother.
Yes. Love the 90s.
Dessa. Not very familiar.
Ooh, what a live band! Okay, I like the guy.
Dude, that drummer's snapping as well.
Cindy.
Who the hell?
Who was her?
And why,
I love this compilation.
Why does she have so many dream catchers and an Elmo? I have so many questions. Who is she?
What is this? Why? Why are they so good?
That's a good example as well. You can get lost in that journey of that climax. Like that. I think that's the best example of that. That is so long. In the other ones, it doesn't feel as long for some reason.
No, I'm telling you, when we watched that Jonah, I was like, oh, I just realized this is one whole breath.
Yeah, that's crazy. Go on,
bro.
I guess this is Katrina.
Like, come on. She was like, you see the song? It's hard. Let me make it harder. Like, oh my God.
How did I not think of that? When people compare Mariah.
No, because I don't think they got similar
they don't have similar timbers.
Similar timbers. Like, I think Katrina's a freak of nature.
No, but she has the same approach of diversion of runs. So she doesn't like to go from journey A to B.
No.
She likes to go A,
Through
B,
the whole alphabet before
through
you
the
get
fire. No, she likes to go like up, down, left, right, up and down again. Switch to the blah 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 blah, and then B.
Yeah.
You know, which is sort of similar. That's why Mariah became so popular.
Yeah.
She was able to fit so many things inside this bloody bar.
Yeah.
You're like, what the? Who is this
Like,
woman?
yeah, where are all of these micronotes? Where do they come from?
So that, I think Katrina probably is the best example of that, I think.
Vocal dexterity.
Yeah, Kyla, Katrina,
Yumi Kapile.
Yumi. Yeah, well, she's an acrobat. That's what I call her. Yeah.
Freaking hell, that
Go on.
woman.
I'm interested. I'm sort of...
Morissette.
A straight power vocal, man.
Oh! Just, so much,
Straight
Regine.
power, though. Oh,
It's just effortless. How is she so effortless? That's what.
oh shit!
Oh, okay.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Wow! What on the guacamole?
That is so ridiculous, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So look, you have to say, like, you look at, you look at like Regine's.
Oh.
It's just straight power.
No, here's the thing. You see Morissette. Morissette's version was, here I'm gonna give you what I do best, which is basically my version of it, which is very close to the original.
I think Mori, and I don't mean this because I like her, but I mean it genuinely. I think she has the best.
She's so formidable.
Yeah, the best sort of, because that's it's like the most modernistic approach to like power vocalists at the
Yeah.
moment. I think she has the most marketable sound in terms of what a power vocalist is. That's where I'd put my eggs. Like that's where I would bet. And then obviously people already put their eggs in Regine in the past, right? And they did hatch. They did win. So it's so cool to be like,
Seeing face to face.
oh, that's like both generations of what I believe would probably, you know, obviously Regine, formidable career, everything she's achieved, everything she wants to basically. Morissette is in that position now.
Yes.
10 years have passed. Her skill is at her prime, I think, right now. And she sort of found that alignment of marketability and sound. And now it's just a matter of, you know, obviously selling tickets, touring, growing the name, growing the brand, going worldwide, and not just becoming sort of big in one industry or just in the US or just in the Philippines. That I feel, and you hear it. It's like, yeah, that can be like what Jessie J became.
That's right.
Where you the only purist pop commercial power vocalist you had in the 2010s to 2016, actually 2008 to 2015 probably, was Jessie J.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I totally agree. Yeah.
So I would put my eggs in Morissette's basket.
I totally agree. But then you see Regine's approach, and what's scary about her that I find so incredibly intimidating is the effortless singing ability of that woman. It's just like,
But she was made to sing like that. It was
And
so
it's-
weird. Even her body composition. It's so...
just like made for
Yeah,
that. And-
yeah.
But you could argue, was it made? Like, did God just wish for that, or did she actually craft it herself? Because
Well, it has to
she
be
made-
both, right?
Right? But I mean, crazy. There's a couple of other versions that you suggested of this particular song too.
Gigi De Lana, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed.
I have lots of questions because it's probably the first time we've seen Gigi exert that much sort of power, right?
Yeah.
And modulate in such manner. And,
such a big.
Yeah. So, would that be the right approach for that belt? Because I couldn't see the mouth of all the other people that up close, and plus in 4K.
I mean, what is there not to like? I love this shot. I love this particular video. You get to see perfect display of soft palate and tongue modulation in throughout the whole of the run. And obviously you also get to see the back anchoring and the muscle anchoring throughout the whole of the back. As you're seeing in this particular shot, just let me show you here. Fly. Okay, so in her flight, she's already engaging the back of the neck. There's a lot of tension being diffused to the shoulders and the upper body. So you also are working with a really high lifted soft palate. And if you look at the tongue, it's a very prominent slide-like position. So you're ticking all of the boxes there. Now, what I would love to know is exactly how much breath flow is coming through, because it's a very long singing phrase, and there's also a lot of like energy exertion. And given the fact that her mouth is so wide and it's so open compared to all of the other videos that we have seen of hers, that she's very economic in her use of mouth modulation overall. I would love to know how much more air she's using compared to the usual run or belt. Yeah. Right? Because this is completely different to her normal singing approach.
I see.
You pay attention to the tongue area. And you can even, I love it, it's amazing, because you can even see how the soft palate right at the back, it's even changes and shifts throughout the whole singing phrase, and it's fantastic.
It's crazy how many
Gigi's awesome.
Technicalities come and...
Freaking Gigi De Lana is fantastic. But then we got another.
Oh, Elaine Duran.
Elaine Duran, another name that should be mentioned in this particular crazy riff. Take it away, girl. Talk R&B.
Yeah, so this is one of the great examples of, again, sort of individual takes and things like that, but also environmental needs and sort of what type of concept and what do you want to try and tell with this cover? Probably the cover already told its own story, so you want to try and tell yours. I think Elaine, what she does really well in this type of, I think she records them in her house, and like, mic held on and stuff, and a lot of the time she does it raw, so that's the first take, whatever comes out.
She's incredible.
Fair play to her for doing that. But I think what you get to see is just, this is pure R&B, feels, vibes, kind of like
environment.
Yeah, late night work type of thing. In a good R&B club. So the power exertion isn't obviously anywhere near the level of like the previous one, Katrina's or anything like that. But it still has the same effect.
The dexterity, though, like I actually find it harder from singing technicalities to do it in this manner, in this approach, which is like it's way more delicate, it's way breathier. So the dexterity, the flexibility, and the actual natural ability to move and shift and change the larynx to such beautiful runs without losing the core essence of it, it's actually incredible.
Well, it's interesting as well because his changes are much more subtle, because they're obviously quieter in that sense. They're not super, she's not exerting the maximum amount of force she possibly can, but it makes the ear notice more.
Yes.
So that's really intriguing. Apart from that, I think those are a fair amount of covers. If you do have any more that you think are probably worth seeing
from anybody, doesn't need to be anyone famous, to be completely honest. No. Any cover of the song of this particular section that you like to show us, you can tag me on TikTok at Wlsk15 and on Reels, Instagram as well. So go ahead, check it out.
I just thought it was fair to try and add as many as you possibly could. But anyway, so let us know what you guys thought about it, and goodbye.
Yeah.